This is CAF TV. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex Bastivansky, bringing you all the action from the Canadian Academy of Football. Lots to get caught up on today. Makash Lal of Burloak Academy will join me here in the studio to discuss their program based out of Burlington. Also, I'll have a feature story on Burlington SC super striker Ilya Ilic. That's coming up later on. But first, let's get to those Sport Check matchday highlights. And after not only running the table so far in the CAF Under-14 Supergroup, as well as capturing the Ontario Cup Championship, there was just one question remaining regarding Epic FC. Could they stay undefeated all season in CAF play? Well, it looked like a near certainty. Epic has been dominant all season long, but second place GCS had their sights fixed on an upset last weekend. It was a David versus Goliath matchup. Could GCS pull it off? We find out now. Game highlights brought you by Sport Check. What are you sweating for? The Epic, of course, were just a week removed from capturing the Ontario Cup Championship, but it was GCS that came out hungry. Marco Primerano was dominant on this day. First minute of play, he steals the ball, waltzes in, smokes it past Shafiq Wilson. 1-zip GCS, not even 60 seconds in. Epic nearly equalizes. Free kick, Ronaldo Marshall hammers the one-timer just inches wide of the post, though. GCS comes right back. Brandon Wallace sees a sliver of daylight, but Shafiq Wilson closes the door at the last second. Nice save. And then it's Primerano making things happen again. He floats a free kick in from 30 yards out. Alex Root skies for the header, and in it goes. GCS. Could an upset be brewing? 2-0 after 13 minutes. Epic, of course, though, will never say die. Ahmed Zaglul threads it to Michael Paris-Garopoulos, but Ivan Burgess comes out to deny him. There was no denying Ronaldo Marshall, though. Just before the break, he makes mincemeat out of Christian Ferrante, closes in, coolly slots it home. Epic cuts the deficit in half at 40 minutes. So on to the second half of play we move. GCS trying to get the two-goal pad back. Primerano, man, he was good on this day. He unloads from 20 yards out, but Wilson gets up to make the big save. And for a while, it seemed inevitable that Epic was going to pull out the comeback. 46th minute, Sal Mazzaferro dances in, crosses for Zaglul, who pulls the trigger. Epic squares it at 2 apiece, and they had the momentum. But then Burgess pulls off a game saver. One-on-one with Mazzaferro. Ivan with the massive stop to give his boys a chance. And in the 70th minute, they pounce. Marco Primerano turns on the Jets, rings it off the post and in off the Epic defender. Sweet justice for Marco, who drove GCS all game. That made it 3-2. That's how it ended. Epic, for the first time all season, suffers a defeat. Afterwards, Primerano talked about the confidence boost his squad is going to get from knocking off CAF's top team.
It feels great to be the first team to beat Epic. It's really going to help us going forward because now we are motivated and we know that we can beat the top team.
Well, Burlington SC has had a rough go of things lately, having lost 2 of their last 3, including a 6-0 spanking at the hands of Epic their last time out. They were looking to right the ship against Dragon Force, and that's exactly what they did, thanks to a towering effort by Christian Starcevic. Yeah, DFC was in tough Sunday. This was the first of 2 games they were scheduled to play, and Starcevic burned them repeatedly. 4th minute, Christian scores one of the goals of the year. Oh man, that's nice. Picks his spot top corner, 1-zip for Burlington, with much more to come from Starcevic. 4 minutes later, he nearly burns them again, goes through the Dragons' defense, but Alexander Procaccini gets down in time to make the big stop. DFC equalizes. Kai Vicari with a nice cross. Alex DiPiero with the ridiculous header from 10 yards out. Beautiful goal, and we're all knotted up at 1 through 17 minutes of play. That's how it was at the break. So on to the second half. DiPiero breaking in, watches the ball, goes off the arm of the Burlington defender. Penalty kick. Kai Vicari takes and makes. And DFC pull ahead 2-1 after 42 minutes of play. 53rd minute, Ilya Ilic beats Procaccini, but Trent Basque with the goal line stand clears it away at the last second. But then Starcevic goes to work. Off the free kick, the ball pops to him. He slides it past Procaccini. And Burlington are all square after 55 minutes. Then Ilic finds Starcevic with space out front. Christian smokes it past the DFC keeper. Burlington suddenly find themselves with the lead after 65 minutes. Then a weird one. Starcevic takes the corner, and when it's going your way, things like that happen. In it dribbles. Burlington double their lead to 4-2. That's how this one ends up. Burlington needed this one. A good bounce back after losing 6-0 to the Epic last time out. And the man of the match was obviously Starcevic, who deflected away any praise for his monster game of 4 goals.
I think it felt great scoring 4 goals, but I have to credit my team too for all those goals, not just me. I think we played really good. We moved the ball, and yeah.
Welcome back to CAF TV. Dragon Force were facing a tall task last weekend since they had to make up for some lost games. They had to play 2 matches on the day, and unfortunately their tired legs were showing in their second contest against a pumped-up CAP squad. The calm before the storm. CAP dominated the tired DFC squad from start to finish. 7th minute, Nick O'Reilly does it all himself, dancing through the DFC defense, but his shot just misses the mark, ringing off the side of the net. And then it's O'Reilly again as he crosses for Spencer Wright, but his header flies just over top of the bar. Then a misplay by Thomas Perry leads to another O'Reilly chance, but Alexander Procaccini comes out to challenge him, and he makes the nice save. So this one was actually scoreless at the break, but that changed quickly after in the second half. 41st minute, Ben Body finds O'Reilly streaking in on the far wing. Pow! He knocks it past Procaccini, and CAP are finally on the board. They lead DFC 1-0. And then Body finds the tiny terror, Chicho, Marcelo Flores. Beautiful 2-zip CAP through 46. And then Body actually gets a great scoring chance himself 2 minutes later, but he can only muster a weak shot that Procaccini easily handles. He can't handle this one though. Spencer Wright dines out on the big, fat, juicy, delicious rebound. CAP firing on all cylinders, up 3-0. Remember, this game was actually scoreless at halftime, and CAP weren't close to being done. Beautiful ball movement here. Way too much time and space for O'Reilly once again, and this guy rarely misses. CAP up 4-0 through 56 minutes of play. And then again, gorgeous touches by CAP. I sound like a broken record. DFC looked mesmerized. Spencer Wright finally finishes it off. Beautiful football by CAP. They lead 5-zip after 60 minutes. Ultimately, they add to the final dagger in the 68th minutes. Honestly, DFC, they just look exhausted. They get caught ball watching on this play. CAP knocks it home to complete the rout. The boys from Guelph, just too much to handle on this day. 6-0, your final. CAP had DFC's number this year. In the 2 games they played, CAP won both and outscored them by an 8-0 total. So DSC will be happy they're not facing them again this year. Okay, the Yogurties Super Group standings. Let's see how the teams stand as we head into the final weekend of play. Epic on top with the 1 loss now, but they've still got a 6-point bulge there over GCS in second. A 2-way tie for third, Burlington and CAP both with 18 points. Dragon Force in 5th and Jenga in 6th. Upcoming games, our last weekend of play in the Super Group. This Sunday, Epic, GCS at 2, Jenga, Burlington at 4, Dragon Force and CAP at 6. All those games taking place at Esther Shiner Stadium, and you're invited to come down. Whether you're a part of CAF or have just been watching the show, come down, see the final closing ceremonies. This Sunday, there'll be medal presentations from different age groups, trophy presentations, 3 Super Group games as we mentioned, and games will actually be broadcast as well on Rogers Television. It's going to be very exciting. CAFsoccer.com for more information about that, as well as up-to-date news, stats, and standings from the Canadian Academy of Football. Welcome back to CAF TV. Joined in the studio now by 2 members of the Burloak Academy based out of Burlington. We've got Makash Lal, the one of the staff coaches with Burloak, and Dante Scabaris, who's the captain of the 2006 team. He's a defensive midfielder. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alex.
So, Burloak Academy, the season's winding down. Now, how did the season go overall for you guys, would you say?
We had a fantastic season. We had, in CAF, we had boys teams from 8 all the way to U11.
Right.
And we have girls teams for also U8 to U11 who did not play in CAF but have been training all year as well.
Right, and you feel like the teams grew a lot this year, all the teams that you've been watching through Burloak?
We've had a great year. We focused a lot on development. Now we're starting to see the results in the CAF League. Our 2006 boys actually ended up playing with the 2005 boys because they did so well in 2006.
Playing up a level then.
We played them up a
Good
level,
for them, yeah.
Our 2007 boys, we have 2 teams, Tier 1, Tier 2, and both teams did phenomenal.
Right.
As their 06s, we
Yeah.
are now actually preparing for 2016 season, and we look to have 2 teams at almost every age group.
Dante, you're the captain of the 2006 team. How do you think that you guys did this year?
I think we did a good job. We tried to get the counterattacks and go through the midfield getting the cross-ins. And I think we did the best jobs somewhere in the center midfield and the striker.
Technical. He's not just glossing over it. He's giving the nitty-gritty.
He knows his stuff.
What does he bring to the boot? About 30 seconds. What does he bring to the pitch every time he steps on?
Dante's just an all-round leader. He's a gamer.
Right.
Steps up, whether he's got a dislocated shoulder or a bruised ankle, what the case.
Played with a dislocated shoulder
He
this year?
did. He did.
Wow.
Just a leader.
Yeah.
It's funny to see kids at this age just go on the field and demand respect from each other and direct his teammates on the field. So he's a phenomenal player.
We're going to talk more about Dante when we come back. We got to take a quick break, but more on Dante and more on the Burloak Academy in just a moment. More CAF TV coming right up. Welcome back to CAF TV. Still joined in the studio by members of the Burloak Academy, Makash Lal, a staff coach, and Dante Scaberas, the star of the 2006 team captain, as a matter of fact. Let's talk about Burloak then. What is the program? When did it start? Why did it start in the first place? And you're based out of Burlington, is that correct?
Yeah, we're just born of Oakland, Burlington,
Okay.
just off of the QEW there. Burloak Academy started 3.5 years ago. We started taking players from our house league programs, and our philosophy is results from development.
Right.
And we have all B license and above coaches right from the young age, staff coaches right from house league to our academy programs. No parent coaches allowed.
Okay.
And we pay ex-players who are going through the coaching ranks to run the program. And from there we start developing players. So over the last 3 years we've seen the numbers grow, but the development and the children grow as well.
Well, you got a good TD, a guy who I used to cover back in the old Canadian Soccer League days, Sean Faria.
Sean Faria,
He's one of the
fantastic,
guys who started the program, right?
right.
So he knows what he's doing, that's for sure.
Sean's our TD, and he's done a great job bringing in soccer guys around him. And I think we continue to grow, and our girls' side has now grown to 6 teams for 2016.
So I was going to ask, so you've got boys and girls teams
Boys
you
and
mentioned
girls side.
before, right?
Yeah.
So and how many teams on each side do you have then?
We have 6 on our girls' side. We'll have minimum 6 on our boys' side,
Right.
and some age groups will have 2 teams.
Okay, excellent. And so let's talk about training sessions. What are the training sessions like, Dante, when you guys get out there and you practice? You practice hard, obviously. Talk about the different kinds of things you guys do.
We always have to try.
Okay.
And we always we have to listen and understand. So then when we do it, we try to do it in the games.
Right.
And Makash pushes us to do our best. So then we learn it and we know how to do it in the games.
Is he a good coach?
Yes.
Yeah? What makes him a good coach?
He gives us challenges and we learn all the time from him. And I think every week, we try to improve.
Yeah. Is he
tries to-
strict with you guys? Is he fun with you guys? Is he a little bit of both?
Yeah, he's a little
A little bit of both, huh? So how long have you been with the program for? And are you really enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on the elite team for 3 years now.
Okay.
And I did an EDP program. That's before you just try out.
Right.
And then I tried out for the team. I made it, and now I've came to this standard.
And what are you liking about it so much?
We always just get together as a unit and we spend time together off the field as well.
Okay.
And on the field, we just cooperate as a unit.
Right. So not just on the field, but off the field too. You guys are a really tight group. Gotcha. We're coming up on the end of the season, the outdoor season anyway, for the CAF schedule. What's the plan for the winter months then for Burloak? What's going to be taking place?
So we just finished off this past weekend
Right.
the CAF outdoor season. Most of our teams are in the NAIC tournament, October 3rd, 4th in Niagara.
Which we're going to be talking about a lot about actually, which is a
Fantastic.
fantastic in support of Special Olympics. Great stuff, yeah.
So we're taking our teams there, those that are eligible to go.
Right.
And that kind of ends our outdoor season.
Okay.
So we're still training. All of our teams are going at least twice a week right now, getting ready for that tournament.
Right.
And then we're going to give them the week off. It is Thanksgiving and also give them a
course.
week off. And then we're going to go indoors at the Burloak Sports Center.
Right.
And then we're going to go, every team will go.
You had a lot of success last year, didn't you? I noticed on your website you've got a picture of indoor champions.
Yes.
Which age group was that?
These guys, the
You guys,
2006s,
right.
the 2004s. I think those are two boys' sides. We had
Right.
we had three boys teams in last year,
Right.
and two of those were champions.
So all the teams will be playing indoor then
That's
this
right.
year?
We're going to put all the teams in the indoor,
Right.
in the indoor turf as opposed to futsal. This team here, the 2006s, started in the first year of the CAF futsal.
Right.
And I think it was a phenomenal experience for
So
these guys.
just this last year was the first year you guys played?
2 years
Two
ago.
years
2 years
ago.
ago. They were in
How
the-
do you like futsal?
I thought it was okay.
Uh-huh.
But the also thing is like you play on the gym,
Yeah.
so it's a little, and the ball's like harder,
Yeah.
so it's harder to kick the ball, so you have to use more force.
Right. But it's you know what, it's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Futsal really teaches you those skills.
Absolutely.
You have to be very quick on the ball, your reflexes have to be really fast. Do you feel, even though it's tough for you, you feel you're learning from futsal?
Yes,
Yeah.
because we're in tight spaces.
Very tight spaces. You have to think quicker too, don't
Yeah.
you? So, talk about you for a second here. Who's your favorite player?
My favorite player is Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard. And favorite team, Liverpool as well, or
Yes,
Liverpool? And you mentioned actually another team.
LA Galaxy.
LA Galaxy, not TFC. LA Galaxy. Why LA Galaxy? Is it because from when Beckham was there?
No, I just like how they play.
Yeah.
And because I've always been following the team ever since Steven Gerrard came.
Good answer, of course. That just makes sense. Doesn't
Stevie
it?
G.
Gerard being there now. So if people want to find out more about the program, place to go, burloaksportscenter.ca. Is that correct, guys?
That is correct.
Thanks so much for being on.
Appreciate your time.
And look forward to following you guys in the future. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, more CAF TV coming up in just a moment. Well, welcome back to CAF TV. While Burlington SC has had an uneven year so far, one constant the whole season has been striker Ilya Ilic, one of the top scorers in the supergroup. Ilic terrorized opposing defenders from the get-go, and we find out more about what makes his game so special now with the CAF Player Profile, brought to you by Leica Sports. Leica, your passion, our commitment. Ilya Ilic. The name alone is enough to strike fear into the hearts of opposing defenders. The 13-year-old Burlington striker brings a multitude of weapons to the pitch.
So Ilya he's a special player in terms of his combinations. He has great attributes, and one of his main attributes is his intelligence. So usually you see players who have pace and power and speed, but Ilya has an aspect on top of that, which is his intelligence. He's a great finisher in the box, very composed, but he also brings other players into the game. So his intelligence is something that really separates him from the crowd, because you can have players with skill, you can have players with pace, but to put that with the brain is a very dangerous combination.
I try to get everyone motivated. You know, I try to get everyone to push themselves and show heart, like Chris is always telling us to. And I really want to just help us win. You know, I really want to work hard.
Ilic under 14 super group in goals this season. His coach Chris Lako knows that if his star striker has the ball anywhere inside the 18-yard box, the result is easy to predict.
Anywhere near the box, Ilya is a danger, especially if you give him a second to pick his head up. If he can take 2 touches inside the box, it's almost a guaranteed goal. Even his 1 touch finishing within the box is lethal. And for us to have a player like that on the team, where he's that calm in the box and with that type of technique where he can finish with his head, he can finish on the ground, he can finish off a volley, somebody like that, it's very good to have, because once you have service in the box, if he's there, you know you have a chance of putting it in the back of the net.
But Illich prides himself on being much more than just a goal scorer.
Obviously, I want to score, but I want to help my teammates score as well. You know, it's a team game, and I want everyone to score, not just me, you know. And obviously, the more we score, you know, the better our chances of winning.
One of the things I like about Ilya's play is that he tracks back, and a lot of people don't understand or they don't pay attention to how much he does for us defensively. He drops back, he wins the ball, he starts the counter, and as soon as he plays the ball forward, he joins the attack. His movement off the ball is superb, especially getting into penetrating runs so that we can play the ball through him to finish. His movement off the ball and his defensive attributes is something I think that separates him as well.
I've started to play more of a left wing winger, so I have to come back and help defend more. It's not really something I'm used to as a striker, obviously, so it's like I have to get more fit in order to do this, but it's every single game I'm getting fitter and fitter and getting better at doing it.
Illich lists Liverpool as his favorite team, Ronaldo as his top player, and would love to play in Europe someday. Coach Leko knows how difficult the path to future stardom can be, but he feels if anyone can pull it off, it's Illich.
I do believe that he does have the attributes to go over and play, particularly because of his intelligence. Because one of the main things here is players have the physical attributes, they have the skill attribute, but to match it with the intelligence that the European players have, the South American players have, that's difficult to do. So like I mentioned before, with Ilya's intelligence combined with his natural talent, I think he does have a chance of going over and succeeding.
Okay, time for the CAF Countdown, the top 5 plays of the week, brought to you by Focus Integrative Therapy. Focus, dedicated to your ongoing health and wellness. Number 5, Epic Sal Mazzaferro turns Trent Fast inside out, threads to Ahmad Zaghloul out front, and beautiful goal by the boys from Epic. Number 4, Ben Body finds Nick O'Reilly streaking in on the far wing. He makes no mistake with the one-timer, one of 6 Caps scored against DFC Sunday. Number 3, Mazzaferro, one-on-one against Ivan Burgess. This time, though, the GCS keeper says, no way, Jose. Number 2, Alex DiPiero of DFC with the ridiculous header against Burlington. One of the best headers we've seen this year. Nicely done, Alex. And the number 1 play of the week, Christian Starcevic. No doubt about it. This shot had eyes. First class goal as Burlington won 4-2. And our super player, the top player from the under 14 super group, brought to you by Phillips Moving and Storage. Phillips will get you there, and it's Starcevic. I mean, really tough to argue against this selection. Christian was a one-man wrecking crew against DFC on Sunday. He provided all the scoring for Burlington in their 4-2 win, one of the best performances we've seen all year. Christian, you are our super player of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, there are lots of different ways you can keep up to date with all the age groups of the Canadian Academy of Football. Check out the league website at cafsoccer.com or on Twitter at CAF_football. And of course, you can follow our Facebook page as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week for more CAF TV.